Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one, and I called this my bee bag when I was working out the dimensions and thinking of what to call it, but actually I changed my mind and I'm going to call it the English Country Garden bag. And it is a bag that has got a secret hidden window, and it's kind of almost a shaker card because there is a little bit of depth in there. So you could put some sequins or something like that if you didn't want to make, you know, if you wanted to vary it up a little bit. And it's a cute bag and it's got a little hinged handle. And I want to show you how to make it. So let me move that right out of the way because I need a piece of cardstock that measures 6 by 11 inches. And I've got, oh, such a squeaky chair. Oh, such a squeaky chair. 6 by 11 inches, 15 by 28 centimetres. I need to get this chair sorted out, don't I? Okay, this is Mossy Meadow, this cardstock. This was soft suede that I used originally, and that's only because I'm going to go with a slightly different pattern inside. So long side at the top, we're going to score it at, and I'm going to give you the metric, the imperial measurements first, 4 7/8 of an inch, 6 1/8 of an inch, and then we're going to turn it round, oh sorry, in metric that's 12.5, 15.5, and then turn it round and score it at 1 1/4 and at 4 3/4 of an inch. And I've lost the 3/4 of an inch mark, which is 3 and 12 centimetres. And that's it. That's it. So fold and burnish your score lines and burnish them well because our cardstock is coloured all the way through, so there's no white core or anything like that. And the darker the colour, the stiffer your cardstock will feel. Okay, so what you need to do is with your cardstock in this position, cut those parts there and those parts there and just trim them, notch in a little, just ever so very slightly. And this one as well. And again, notch in a little bit. So that's how it is when you finish doing all your trimming and cutting. That's what it looks like. Obviously now we need to put an oval hole in the front. We need to put this bit in. So I've got my oval framelets, and our framelets, there are, I want to say 8 of them. There's lots of them, and depending on how big you want your window bit in the middle to be, depends on which ovals you want to go for. So if I just lay them all out so you can see all of the sizes, depending on which way you're coming at it from, because it's those ones I want, counting 1, 2 and it's the 3rd and the 4th, or counting from the largest down, it's the 4th and the 5th. It's those two in the middle. Those are the ones I want to use. So I'm just going to put those out of the way, grab my big shot, which is on the floor, so it's going to be squeaky chair syndrome again. And it's down here. And I have got my magnetic platform here, and I've got both my cutting plates. So if I just bring this out, so there's my magnetic platform. Here's plate number 1. And I want to just put my oval on one of these parts, and I want it sort of closer to the, well, kind of in the centre, so it doesn't matter whether it's the front or back, because at this point in time they're identical. And what you need to do is cut with the smaller one, so not the larger one, because we're going to put a border. So you need the smaller of the two and line it up as close to the centre as possible. Now, because this is 6 inches wide, 15 centimetres wide, I know it's going to fit through perfectly. So I think that's about right. So you just run that through. Cracking is normal if you're working with a big shot. It is where the pounds of pressure is working on the plates, and the plates are doing their thing. So I still need that, so I'm going to put that to one side. So that's my oval cut, and obviously I wanted to have a tone-on-tone border. So this time I've got some old olive, and you put your smallest one down first, and then your larger one round it, because I'm only after a frame. I'm not actually after an oval. I want the framed area, so you put both down at the same time, plate back on the top and push it through. And I'm just going to run it back. I don't know why I do that, I just do. It's you don't have to, force of habit with me, I think. So there we go. That, another bit I don't need, so I'm left now with the frame. So I'll just shift this out of the way. My phone ringing at me. So what I have got now, what I'm left with, is my box with the oval cut out, the frame to go around that part. So I'm going to put that on first, and I'm going to use my, I'm going to use the new fine tip glue pen. But actually, to be honest, any kind of slim glue will work. And just run a little bit all the way around the edge. If I could keep hold of it, I would. Oops. I'm just trying to pick it up off the edge of the grid paper here. I'm just going to lay it down over the hole that I cut before. So that's why you cut the small hole into the cardstock. Oh look, I splodged. Oh, I'll fix that and put something pretty on it. I will amend that, that's not an issue. Okay, so that's stuck down now. What I want to do, because this is a window here, there you go, can you see the light reflecting off it? I've got my window sheet here that measures 3 by 3.5 inches, so 7.5 by 9 centimetres. And that I'm going to adhere straight to the cardstock. So this is very much like making a shaker card. So I'm going to put a mini glue dot in each corner. Like that. And position it over. There we go. And then I have got a piece of paper that also measures 3 by 3.5. It doesn't have to be exact, but that's just what I went with. And this time I'm going to put dimensionals on, so just to elevate it a little bit. And I'm going to take 4 of them and put them into the corner again. And I'm positioning it onto the acetate, onto the window sheet, so that I know that you can't see them through the little oval hole. And when I put that over the top, you've got this very slightly 3D effect, which you can definitely see it in real life very, very easily. I don't know that it's capturing particularly well on camera, but that's how you make that. And obviously you could, well, you'd want to put more dimensionals in the bottom and stuff, but you could put little leaves or glitter or something like that in. All those sorts of things. Very cute. Okay, now to close the box up. So this is obviously going to be the front. So these tabs here, we're going to put adhesive on these and stick them to that part. Just grabbing my fuse. Oh, and other stuff. So those are going to stick to there. And then this part, as we know, is the front, so that is going to come up and stick around there. So you're going to run adhesive all the way along here. And apparently not a very straight line. There we go. And I've got a very dull day here today, and I've got awful shadow. So I can hardly see what I'm doing. I always need a spotlight over my shoulder to illuminate this way rather than just the lights there. Okay, and then the final thing to do is punch a hole in the sides, because I've got a handle to go on. Now, my handle is basically the bit left over from when I cut down the cardstock length. But go for about 3/4 of an inch, so about, yeah, 3/4 of an inch, about 1.5 centimetres. 2 centimetres wide, and then as long as you want. So mine is 11 3/4 inches long, go for 11 inches, something like that. Punch a hole in the side, and then the same on the other side. Round off the corners because it just looks so much nicer when the corners have all been rounded off. And just sort of give it a bit of a run with your fingers just to start it bending. Holes in there as well. And that bit. And then we're going to hold it all together with brads, the beautiful antique brads, which I think are so gorgeous. But I'm going to go with sort of, which ones to go for this time? Yeah, I'll go with those ones again, same as I did before. So through your handle first, because the handle is best off on the outside, through the handle and through the side. And pop it open. Oh, this lighting is terrible. Do you know what? It's 1:05 in the afternoon, so it should be gorgeous, perfect lighting, but the sky is full of clouds, and so I'm ever so sorry. Natural daylight is failing me today. There we go. Let's just open those, and that is your bag with its handle done. Cute, an English garden bag, I think. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. I hope that was useful, learning how to do that. I'd love to see it if you do make one that does have sort of maybe glittery bits and bobs and stuff in it, and you make it a kind of a shaker bag type. Let me know, show them to me. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye.